Welcome back, everybody. This week we have Vedran on with us. Vedran, take a second to say hello.
Thank you, Tony. Hello to you and all your listeners.
Awesome. We're so excited to have you. Let's
Thank
dive right into it. If you could open it up with a one-word open, let us know what that
you.
is.
Pumped.
I love it. Cool. Let's take the next few minutes, talk about your background and talk about your business, how you started it, where you are at today, and where you're headed.
Yeah, so essentially, I like to say that I'm a developer first, and I used to run a development company for the past 10 years. And we've built many apps and APIs for clients all over the world, from big name brands to more importantly, startups. And at the end of the day, we became one. We had a lot of frustrations while we were working with these APIs. So we kind of started building a product that would help us solve those problems. So that's how we essentially ended up building what today Treble is. It's essentially a solution to some of our own frustrations from back in the day while we were doing software development.
That's really cool how you came up with it because you wanted your own solution. It's a neat story. Talk about a recent win. Tell us something that you encountered in the business that you consider a big W, so to speak, and tell the audience what you learned from it.
I mean, it has to be the fact that we raised a $1.4 million seed investment, which essentially allowed us to move past our agency and focus 100% of Treble. I like to say that, it allowed us to take a leap of faith, essentially, and start working on Treble and start building what we think we want to see. And the one thing that I learned, I thought that it's going to be extremely difficult to raise money. But if you have a good product and something that you truly believe in and something that has a vision, I don't think you'll have a problem. And more importantly, there are many VCs and angel investors who will be more than happy to literally be a partner for you.
Yeah, that's really great. And I couldn't agree with you more. So that's perfect. Let's talk about failures. So, a lot of businesses experience failure. It is what it is. Some people don't want to talk about it. Some people do talk about it and learn from it. So share with us a recent failure that you had and also what you learned from it.
I mean, one of my core beliefs was always that if you build a good enough product, people will eventually come to your product, find it, use it, and do everything on their own. You just have to build a product. So I learned, and I'm still learning to this day, that actually isn't 100% true, and that there's still a lot of hard work that goes from me building a product to people using it. And so I'm essentially learning all the possible ways about growing a product, about growing an audience, doing marketing, community, and a lot of these interesting things.
Interesting. Let's talk about thought leadership. I know as a thought leader, you have a perspective on things, and I would love to hear your point of view on what makes somebody a great thought leader.
So I think we live in a world where everybody is super sensitive, and mostly people agree with a lot of the attitudes and a lot of the things that everybody says. So I think you have to have your own opinion. You have to have your own belief. And in my opinion, you have to have some sort of an experience that brought you to a point in life, and that's when you, in my opinion, form some of the best and best opinions that you might have.
Awesome. How about company culture? What do you think? What does it take for a company to have an awesome company culture, in your opinion?
I think it starts at the top. So as a founder, you have to be ready to essentially be the most cheeriest person in your company, to be a cheerleader, to be supportive when everybody else is down. You're the guy that needs to be up, and you're the guy that needs to help them. I think it has to start on that level. And building a culture as a company essentially requires you to find people who are similar to you. I don't think you can transform people, but not to that degree. So it's more about finding people who have the same passion as you, not just about building products, but about literally all the details that you're passionate about. So then the culture becomes more of a thing that happens naturally rather than this, either shut down or fake thing that you have to push and push to get it done.
Beautiful. I want to take you back to a time when you first launched your startup here. So
Yeah.
if you could go back to the first day, you're sitting at your desk, you have the laptop, you're there, and you go, here we go.
Okay.
If you could go back in time and give yourself one piece of advice under 30 seconds, what would you say to yourself on the day you launched? What would you do more of or less of? Whatever, there's no right or wrong answer, but what advice would you give yourself?
Just do it sooner, because it doesn't have to. So advice would be, don't wait for it to be perfect. Don't wait, just launch it. People who really want to use it will use it. They'll even report bugs to you, right? Or problems. They'll come up to you and say, hey, can you fix this? I'm trying to use it. And that's about it. You just got to do it. The sooner you do it, the faster you get feedback, and the faster you get actual people to use your product, which is more valuable than sitting around waiting and making it perfect and doing things that you're not sure will work out at the end.
Beautiful. And when you're looking at your top line expenses, what are your top two expenses that you currently are paying right now?
I mean, it has to be lawyers, but all jokes aside, it's definitely people, right? Especially we are in a branch where developers are a must. We have to hire a lot of developers, in order to build our product, in order to move the product forward. And at this moment, it's just their market, right? It's if you're not a developer, consider being one. You'll have a very good salary.
What about new customer acquisition? What seems to be the best platform for you right now?
I think, this is probably the oldest thing that they say in the book, but content has been the best driver of our product and adoption so far that I've seen, like real useful content that we've either written as blog posts or as ebooks or even as videos. So that has single-handedly, I think, been the biggest driver of customer acquisition and visits to our website.
Content is king, right?
Yeah, I kept reading about that, but I can say firsthand it is 100% true.
I love it. Here we are at the end. Our audience may want to connect with you and to reach out and find out more about your company. If you want to take this opportunity to give out your website address, your social handles, that would be great.
So you can find me on every imaginable network out there, meaning LinkedIn. Just use my name, Vedran Cindrić, or type in Vedran Treble. On Twitter, my handle is Cindretta. And you can visit our website, treble.com. That's with 2 L's.
Excellent. And here we are at the very final question. What's your one-word close that you want to sign off with? And tell us why you're choosing to sign off with this.
Let's say delighted, and because that's how most of our users feel after they use our product.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much for this awesome conversation.
Thank you.